I'm at the IGBO school in Ghana. The IGBO 30th September Garaga, I received over 7,000 Nigerians. And who was there? IGBO Kingdom Ghana was also.
Waiting for everybody. What do you mean? Are we serious? You people are taking this country for granted. Who is the president? Is the president serious? Do you know you are ruling a country, or you think you are ruling a bamboo tree? 30 million Ghanaians. You're joking with their lives. Come on.
Deport ama Igbo for fake ahini ne ho abasem na ne case no on twede ne ho ase nyina ne say wonim so wo Nigeria wo Ghana for no social and the media no the we ankofo ni keep record no odi agoro so ba ehye nti fake Igbo hene no wonim so wo Ghana wonim so da so te Igbo ho baabi e wo Nigeria dabi wo Ghana omumfa ho ene wo hene a wo ye ne wo mo la wo besi no wa ho a besi Ghana for ni check okra omo be fire professional ene omo ponchi so omo ponchi hard pa aya check social and media ni so in time no so na check how wo musi ponchi omo leaders no o ponchi ni professional way iti Igbo hene no onte ne ho ase say o Ghana wonim so da so e wo Nigeria eti Igbo ho baabi ene ye be expose papa yi nanum asem a wo se odi eya asase no wona e ka che Ghana fo no so wodi asase no e bai so wodi ba be si mo oboa nanum asem wo ho wo se wodi be ye kingdom ye be bo a kire wo se no ye di atew afi ne be ye no api wonim si ye ni ye no da ho ye won da ho pa Ghana fo ni ho adaje o mu ni ho adaje o mu nya ho adaje so message wa o message ama Ghana bi so adi nkomo e woni page bi betwa to am wati nsem wo kan na yengu kan ko TV3 fo esre mo wo frɛ onipa o ye azaa sei na obeye ni interviewer ye pacho mun check videos a enkofo edi hu nkomo no na mumbo ubo anu obusa na question ti nkomo ni pa enye sa na akwotam ni besi ho so o mra me kasa obe kasa anu asoroko ba ubo video no TV video nanum asem ana de abusa na question di TV3 for ebe stem next time no munye ne sa maye ene bema wate ne ho ase ehunu se wontro na wo twa no ehu evidence ni wozo obusa na question bi say wo so wo pa achaw e wo Ghana die nti na wo pa achaw video we
not through. So I said apologies for such fake information that people have tagged my name to it.
So then the apology is not because you confer on yourself or you confer yourself to be a king.
I'm not a king.
Okay.
I am Igbo Ghana, the chief of Igbo community in Ghana, the leader of Igbo community in our culture and tradition.
Once o kan sa asem we wie no, ne nkofo na nkasa ba page na se be kan kire wo say, easy directly translate to king. Ichi directly translate to leader. This man is being deceitful. The Council of Kings in say Nigeria have abolished Ezendigos and one. It what TV national will try through. Easy no a translate e the king. Yesi ichi and a chere o ye leader. And this was where a leader there was so offend who ichi. In the so offend who easy. And to some more of a convosi a basic page in this one. Who make sure some more research. Yes, will be here from Swaku. Mechanical query achable. Once a mudding command question. And I will be saying a question be say, asase ben and I will say, oh, koto. And I say, oh, asase. Who something to say?
Vast land and all that. Now, when this now occur in our minds, okay, let's go and meet him and discuss how possible we can get land there to develop them more.
So, catch it, I will say, Sasa, no more compare Eddie Ababe more. Tia Comono D and you. Eti omu ehia na omu didi nkomo ne ade ade na no so wo so nya asase o metimi de aye mo ne ade ade na omu ko we omu ko hunu enipa na asase ne de ano ena nipa ne ka che ne say asase we de obetimi de aye kingdom tie sem o kan ye no.
When we start discussing that, he said, this is development, it's good, it will be good for his kingdom. I will give you people 200 acres. I will say it's too much.
What you say? It necessary anyo na ko so ko no ko sen ko ko ya asase de asi mo 250 acres so se hwan no and o man 50 acres ye de ama no on na ekam ye de man no na nipa nso obetim de asi kingdom afi de enye mo ni biim wan busa na question ankotwe na num asem amba mebo anche na obetwi afa so akọ wonso obusa ne say adwuma ben ni adwuma ben wo ye wo so ye modake.
So what businesses do you do?
I'm into trade.
Okay.
So I'm into children things called mother care.
Okay.
Chibet Mother Care is located in East Legonda.
Mother care where you obi oye mother care and wonu besi kingdom onu ba besi more mother care minim se okobeka so factory we media ye wo engineering ho ahwa ye media wo yi gas we ye media also mother care ba ko pe no e no mo so mo ya so nkwa didi a and investors ye ba Ghana and invest akwekwe ni kwasa mo so no so mi hu ni sa akwekwe ma mo nya ni interview bi onyu obi aza no despite mo ho we mu ndio so mo nka ho kra we mu ye garbage because we tie ni nsam a wo kan anyhow wo person wo kire no ho minim so obeka say wo companies ahodo be de ho Ghana ho mother care ana wo di be village akwa we pan so anum nsam do so now sister ni san akwa so busa ne say adekwa opportunity e frɛ wo sebra eye CID office ne to wa no yesi why you say e ma wo de ma abo adwaman enu nti na onya osika free boys omo ye sakawa ode omo ye agi nti na onya osika free bo ne wasisi ahemfo ne ho ahwan enu nti ye kan sansem we nyina TV3 fo busa no.
One of the reasons we are told you've been invited by these intelligence agencies, according to Hassan Ayariga, a political figure you may now be very much aware of in this country, he's accused you of being a fraud and a sex and human trafficker who is disguised as a businessman. How do you respond to these accusations?
You have to prove it. You have to prove it. You can't accuse somebody of what is not right.
Busa ni wie no. Eno omo se ohun ni sen o kire na adwene. Ana sister no a oye ni interview ni say masa. Na aden na wonsi o Hassan Ayarega wonsem a waka ato so a enye no kore. Ti do kan.
Why won't you sue him if this is defamatory of your character?
Don't worry, we'll get there.
Do you plan to sue him?
Don't worry, we'll get there. That is my own personal issue. It's not for me and you. If I want to sue him, you are not the lawyer.
Oh, because you have said you leave him to God.
Madam, you are talking to a leader. I can't just be talking. I'm before television.
Oh, ni arrogance na ewu ni mu no. Arrogance, I say, what the guy level be? Oh, me see no, me dia menya me. Ye dia menya me. Na ade na wunsi no say just say enya me na me ka kire. Me meeting na me. Oh, ye arrogant rough. Oni kapresu. En wono no wo moda ke no te Ghana no obesi kingdom. Muntie. Ni video ya ebebo a kire wi. Eye video a ye nyambo ye e wa abonten. Wonim se obi a wurafi. Ghana na wo no wo Ghana. Yemfa ho ne wize ichi ni wo ahwan ni kokomiriko ne chuchuku mu aka no hwan. Ubusamu a waka ato abonten ne bebusa question. Obi amfa ho. Obeye video en wo ka kire Ghana for say obesi schools obesi den otwi ibofo aba obi a wokwan so oba ebeto asase na den na asase na wogin odi be den so odi be kingdom ono anum asem.
We're going to have a center for the Igbos in Ghana and all over the world with every right to come and live there. And they're going to Ghana, I am with the Igbo speaking school and I got every Saturday from 10 to 12. I'm with about 720 students so far. Now I'm at the Igbo school in Ghana. The Igbo 30th September Garaga, I received over 7,000 Nigerians, and who was there? Igbo Kingdom Ghana was so.
After Ekuonaba TV was won see kingdom on Jene kingdom hoda. Eye ni atwese na no e de kingdom ache ho. Me pa to nyo na aka kingdom asemi. Me si akwa we obi amfa ne ho. Mo mfa na yire ne nka no ho na mo ntam ne nko emfiri Ghana ho. Obi ahia no ho. Se wonye obi a. Minim se nko bekeka se me wo company we da ha, me wo company we da ha, me wo company we da ha. Wo moda ke na wo ye na wo de teti ni pa adwene sa. Mo mpagya kwa we mfamfiri Ghana ho nko no te Ghana no dwuma wo di ne no na Hassan Ayarega aka no. Oye guy a wonko siu no. E de esamfo so kura no.
This 419 man who used to call himself king.
The controversy that is spreading around the world in the internet that had to do with the video that I made 2013 as the chairman of Igbo community has spoken was as a result of trade issue that Nigerians were having then with Ghana Trade Union, GOTA, from 2012 to 2013 thereabout. when the Guta asked Nigerians to leave their local market, as the trade law established that foreigners are not supposed to be in the retail market, in the retail goods in the local market. Now, as of that time, we had a lot of in and out of meetings with the trade ministry. I can remember a couple of our meetings, some level of advices given to us that for we to go and build a mall that can accommodate us there so that we'll be able to get ourselves out from this misunderstanding with the Ghana Trade Union.
So, folks, the whole premise of this was wrong. Because when you build a mall, according to him, that's the advice that the Ministry of Trade gave to him, you cannot hire only Nigerians, which was meant to be the solution to stop encroaching and infiltrating the Ghanaian retail trade space. And as I said, this was why I started taking a second look at him. Because he and some of the other Nigerian leaders, quote-unquote leaders, were so fierce in their defense and advocacy for Nigerians to be allowed in the retail trade space, where in Nigeria, Ghanaians absolutely are not allowed to. This guy was half Nigerian, half Ghanaian, and they still treated him like crap. And he would always preface it with, "Oh, we love you so much. We Ghana has been good to us. So why aren't you more even-handed?" No. You are here to take advantage and exploit. And now you want to tell us about your Ghanaian wife and your half Ghanaian children. It doesn't work that way. Your actions have already spoken louder than your words.
Far back, 2008, 2009, we build primary school for them there to support the village, the education of the sons and daughters in that village. And we had a good relationship with him. And he had been telling us to get in investors because we have vast land and also beach areas.
Folks, what I deduce from this is that after he built that fictional school, because he never built that school, he might have painted it, as I said in a previous video, or put up some fixtures, if even that, which is highly doubtful. But whatever the case, he got a plaque, took a picture of himself, and I don't know how the Ghanaian chief was conned into believing that he built the school. So when he came with the idea of further development, he was shown the land, because Ghana does allow that if you are building something that will help develop the area or the community. I believe there's some fish harbor that was supposed to be built. Up till now, we haven't heard anything. But the plan is that you build stuff that would benefit the Ghanaian community. So once they transitioned from that, once they had the land, which the gullible chief initially gave out for free, then because they had other plans, which was a mall, which would still have benefited Ghanaians to an extent, the trade laws would have insisted that they have to hire Ghanaians, at least 20, So once they transitioned there and they knew that they were no longer going that route, that's when payments had to be made. Because then it was no longer a developmental plan that would benefit the community, but rather would be used to fulfill his own personal selfish ambitions to build his village or kingdom, as he stated 5 years later.
Then we remember there's opportunity over there. We can develop that mall there. We went to him for this beautiful idea. And we discussed this with him. And there, more idea come out of us. The idea of developing Igbo village as a business hub area. We discussed this with him. And the king was very happy for such vision, it's like an estate to come into his kingdom. He told us he can even offer us 200 acres of land. Not offer for free, but, for we to buy. We said it's too much. He said 100. We said 50 is okay for us. And he made his boys to go show us the land. We had videos, we had pictures. We'll come back to him, agreed on terms of payment. And we agreed that the payment to take place in tranches, 3 months. Then we came back. A week after, I had TV interview like as we are here, just like my president said. And during that interview, I said, we acquired 50 acres of land. We want to build Igbo village and talk about the vision. I acquired 250 plots of land. My reason of acquiring this land is to build Igbo village in Ghana, where we're going to build the palace of Igbo there, a huge palace. We'll build Igbo town hall there with about 2,000 capacity chairs and 100 rooms guest house. In the palace of the Igbo, we'll also have apartment there for special guests like governors and ministers. In that Igbo village, my good brother, what I want to do there is we'll create streets there. We'll create streets that will represent the names of the ancient Igbos. And this Igbo village in Ghana, every Igbo man all over the world have right to come there and buy property. Either you want a plot of land or 2 plots of land to build your dream house. We're also going to build tall buildings of maybe 6th floor or 7th floor. We'll sell them flat by flat. And we will have a single entrance in this Igbo village. When you come in there, you know you're coming into Igbo village in Ghana. From there, the Igbos will expand. 12 years ago. So I want to let the world know that every stories they are putting out there is not a real story. Thank God you will hear from that video clearly that is the village we are talking about. And that was vision since 12 years ago.
His Majesty Eze Dr. Ambassador Chukwudi Judy Henetu, Eze Ndibo, the first in Ghana. He had 5 years in Ndibo. Ghana Chilim Eze Ndibo, huh? I am with Igbo village. I need to develop right now in Ghana, where we're gonna have a center for the Igbos in Ghana and Igbo all over the world with every right to come and live there. I don't want to Ghana. I am with the Igbo speaking school. Igbo Kingdom na Ghana.
But it was so bad that some of our bloggers misinterpreted the vision and they said, we want to build Igbo Kingdom in Ghana. That is 100% lies. If you go back to that video, you see what I said is Igbo village. And the interpretation of village is different from kingdom. We have no any plan to build any kingdom in Ghana. We cannot build kingdom on top of someone's kingdom. It is impossible.
Igbo Kingdom na Ghana. Igbo Kingdom na Ghana. Igbo Kingdom na Ghana.
But some mischievous, some of our sons and daughters that believe that through internet and through having more viewers, they'll be making money from there, now decided to tarnish the image of a humble person like me just for them to make money from the internet and giving wrong information.
No, you are the one giving wrong information. You are the one lying, as can be clearly seen. You have to let go of your Igbo village / town / kingdom, whatever you want to call it, vision, because of the litigation that occurred. But it wasn't for lack of trying, because if you weren't planning to do it, you wouldn't have repeated yourself 5 years later. So you aren't fooling anyone but yourself.
If you look at the internet, there's so many AI videos against me. They even put in internet that people has come to my house to protest. Nobody came to my house for protest. And that video is seriously causing problem. Our people back home all over the world are calling us thinking that we are not safe in Ghana. But Ghana is one of the most safest countries in the world that accommodates everybody, that the security of Ghana is so good and so tight that people are comfortable living in Ghana. But what these internet bloggers are doing, they are rather destroying the image of the nation without thinking.
And those videos are being propagated by Nigerians, including some unscrupulous Nigerian YouTubers residing in Ghana, where some Ghanaians had to correct them in the comment section. So that's your job. Since you are the leader, you should be correcting the mischief they are trying to spread. Ghanaians will lay a finger on Nigerians. I already said that in my previous videos. We will not lay a finger on you because you guys are going to implode. Implode means it's going to start from within. You are going to destroy yourselves from within like you're doing. Like how that Peter, whatever, what's his name? Benedict, the so-called millionaire. We know what they really do behind the scenes. You act in a way that will destroy yourselves. Ghanaians won't lay a finger on you. You will run when no one is chasing you. Ghana's image will remain intact because we know how to behave when we're home and when we are away from home. We know how to behave when we're on foreign land. And we know how to behave when we are home on our own land. So no worries there. Those videos are videos of Ghanaians getting rid of people who had come into their neighborhood and doing the wrong thing, if you know what I mean. I can't say it on YouTube. It had nothing to do with what is going on now. But some Nigerians chose to give the wrong information. It is what it is. Folks, the reason why I'm reiterating this, I've gone over these videos several times. Or, I've gone over them over and over. But he's trying to wriggle out of taking responsibility. He said this in 2013. Yes. Then he repeated himself in 2018, which is 5 years later. At first, I thought it was 2012 and 2017, but the years are actually 2013 and 2018. So he repeated himself in 2018. And if you have no intention of building anything, you would not be talking about it. Once the litigation occurred and you lost the land, that should have been it. But you repeated yourself in 2018 and again in an article in 2019. So that means you had the intentions. If you had had the opportunity, it would have gone through, but you were thwarted. Thanks be to the God of Ghana and our ancestors. Because some of our leaders are asleep on the job. As I said, if you're doing your job, no need for offense. So don't come out pretending that if you had had the opportunity, this wouldn't have taken place. It would have. It definitely would have. But thank God, it did not come to fruition. So don't come and call. I don't know who you're trying to fool, as I mentioned before, because it's not going to work. It ain't gonna work. Not on Ghanaians. This man who used to call himself king is not going to give up. He is self-aggrandizing and craves power too much. Because remember how he brought the Fanti chief. As soon as the Gamanche gave his ruling that no more yam festival and that he should cease and desist from installing his mini chiefs and also uninstall them, he brought that Fanti chief to come and speak on his behalf, brandishing all sorts of certificates as proof that he's allowed to do whatever. These are people you cannot treat with kid gloves or pussyfoot around them. You have to be firm and mean what you say. So we have to continue putting pressure on our government. And thank God for Honorable Hassan Ayariga, who hears us and is speaking on our behalf. This man who used to call himself king has to be curtailed because he's not going to give up. He is not. He's a recalcitrant, stubborn person who has gotten away with it for so long. So eyes have to be on him. Pressure still has to be on him to conform or leave the country with his wife and children.